But just kind of want to intro what we're going to talk about today. You guys are doing a very, very good job with the activity, right? With getting the presentations. I know that's been our focus for a while is 4 presentations a week, which will lead to, a close, which I'm seeing. I love that looking at your numbers. I love seeing that it's not just one person closing. It's multiple closes across. So that means that the training is effective. It means you guys are understanding, you guys are grasping, and you guys are doing what we're asking, which is awesome, right? I would like to take credit, but there's no way. Neither one of us can that we figured out how to make this work, right? The reason why both of us are so successful and we're in places that we both want to be, we worked hard for, was because we were sitting in a chair just like yours. Whether it's your first day, where's Isaac at? Whether it's your first day or you've been here for years, we all started in the same spot, right? And what we did that separated us from a lot of people is that we believed in the system. I don't know if you guys heard her talking over here. She was talking about her meal prep and plan, right? She was like, if it was up to me, I wouldn't be able to do it. But I have a guy, she's like, that I pay a lot of good money for, right? But he tells me what to eat and how to work out and what to work on. And as long as I have something to follow, then I'm good. But if you leave it to me, and it made me chuckle inside because I'm like, that's exactly this opportunity, right? Not a lot of us have insurance background except John over here, right? And you see where he's at, right? He's back here, even though he should be retired. He's probably like, I want to go and have fun and make more money, but it's a system that we have, and as long as you follow it, you get to whatever level you want, and that's what I love about this company. So that being said, we're working a lot. I'm trying to bring Courtney on board permanently for you guys. But in order to be able to do that, we got to make sure that we're logging all of our data. So you guys are doing great with what you guys are doing, but I know there's a couple questions on, how to log correctly or how to implement those appointments into your routes. So what we're going to do today is just kind of walk you through from start to finish, right? When you're in a business, how you log in your walk-ins, how you log in that presentation or that appointment, right? And then when you're at that appointment, how you actually log it in. Because I was guilty of this, you guys, and I didn't learn it until I was a trainer. Same with Courtney. That piece we usually miss, right? If we even add it to our route, if we add the appointment to our route, not just a stop, right? We click on a box and then the business name highlights, and then we click on the business name and then we log in a brand new walk-in. Well, what that does is it shows it as an on-the-spot presentation versus an appointment that you went to and then you presented, which those numbers are just as important for you guys in your growth and your development. Does that make sense? Did I lose anybody there? Okay. All right. So what we're going to teach you today is when you add it, one, how to add them to your route. And then when you're in there, instead of just clicking on the box, actually editing the task and then walk you through how to go ahead and fill it out so that now that appointment is logged as an appointment presentation. And so these are the last little final tweaks we need to make so that we can truly see your data. And the more data and the more accurate that data is, the better we can coach you from afar. You're going to see me like every 3 to 4 weeks. You guys can't get rid of me. But Courtney is going to be a little bit more sporadic. So we'll try to do some online stuff, but this will really help her and all of us just get better and see the data. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to stop talking now, and I'll go ahead and go for that.
Cool. Thanks. All right. So, well, thanks for the introduction.
Absolutely.
Some time. You guys don't want to get me. One thing you'll learn about me, I think I told everybody who was on the Zoom call, like if you get me talking a lot, I will not shut up. We'll be like an hour in, and you guys are gonna be like, "Should we show us how to log an appointment?" Or because I ramble. So, thank you for that. We're gonna start off. I want to take you guys through the whole progression, so it makes sense. I want to take you through how to actually go in and log an appointment. I know it seems super silly and simple, but sometimes it's just like one thing that we're missing in order to log things correctly. So I do want to take the time to show you guys. I want you guys to pull up a lead in your phone. We're not going to actually log it. So once we get to the part where we save it, I don't want you guys to save it because I don't want this to actually reflect on your dashboard. But I do want to walk you guys through the process of logging an appointment. And then after that, we're going to show you how to pull it up on here and actually add it into a route. So let's start off with that. So if are you guys all in your, okay, Salesforce app, right? Just go to a lead, any lead, doesn't matter what lead. Go to one of your leads and give me a thumbs up when you guys all have it pulled up. We're good. Are we waiting on anybody? Got a lead pulled up? Okay. Cool. So we're gonna walk through it. I'm trying to do it by memory. I think I got it. So what do we hit first? Worksite walk-in, right? Let's say we just walked in, we just sat down with the DM, couldn't talk now, but we set an appointment for tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Okay, so we're gonna go worksite walk-in, right? Then we're gonna put in any details in, you know, what you guys talk about, anything you guys want to remember for the next visit. Maybe you told me bring them a coffee or something like that. This is where I put all my details in of what happened in the walk-in and what you feel like is super important to remember for next time. Gonna put our details in, and then what's after that?
Is this a first walk?
Yep. Is it a first walk-in or not? So if it is, you guys, it depends on the walk-in, right? If it's your first time walking or not, you're gonna click that. Oh, we got a laptop down. We're gonna click on that, and then we're moving too fast. He's already on the percentages. Go with the flow. But okay, first time walking, and then what's right after that though? Not the virtual, after that. Set activity. So this is the key thing. I think some people jump down and start to do your percentages. Set activity is where we have to actually set the day and time of the appointment. So set activity, you have two options when you click that, right? Appointment and follow-up. Obviously this was an appointment. And then I do want to clarify with you guys too, just the actual definition of an appointment, because I think that's important to talk about too. So make sure that when we are setting our appointments, an appointment needs to be a specific day and time that you made with that decision maker to come back, and the expectation is to present. So we have to be careful with that, because we don't, again, to be able to coach and look at data and actually have it reflect what you guys are actually doing in the field. I want to make sure that the appointments we are logging are actual appointments. So specific day and time, you put down with that DM, and the expectation when you come back is to present or have, 15, 20 minutes of their time when you come back to sit down with them. So that would be the definition of an appointment. So just wanted to put that out there.
Let me just add the emphasis on DM, not secretary, not gatekeeper, right? The actual DM. If you guys set something up through a gatekeeper, or which I do not suggest, please put that as a follow-up.
Yes.
Okay, because the likelihood that the business owner knows why you're there, those are usually harder because they think that you're there as a client, and you don't, that bait and switch pisses people off, and you don't want to have to overcome that already walking in. Okay, so it's very, very important that you set it with the actual DM, who the decision maker is that you're going to present to.
Yes. And if that takes you guys a couple more walk-ins in that business to get, trust me, it's worth it. I think we were just talking about this earlier. A lot of this job, people think that they can get instant gratification from something, and it feels good to like, oh, I got an appointment. I spoke with, the office manager, and she told me, yeah, sure, I should come back tomorrow at 10. Tony's going to be here. Cool, appointment. There was no expectation set. It wasn't with the actual person that you can sit down and fill out closing paperwork with, right? So just kind of being careful with that, because I promise you the instant gratification and something like that is not worth it, of taking your time, your money, your gas, all of that to drive back to that and not know that you are going to sit down and present to this team. It's up in the future, right? So if that takes me a couple more walk-ins to do, or a couple extra conversations with a few people, trust me, it's worth it. Don't push the instant gratification, just trying to grab onto something. So I lost my place. So set the appointment, right? Specific day, specific time. Then we move on to the percentages, right? So I don't want to confuse you guys too much. I talk about trainer training. Okay. Are you guys all familiar with trainer training? Right? Okay. So when we're logging percentages, making sure that we're clicking the right percentages as well, not only for your activity dashboards, but for the worksite training dashboard, making sure that it is going to reflect what you guys actually did, who did what in the walk-in. So obviously we have our percentages, 20 through 100% is kind of like our checkpoints throughout the progress that you're making throughout a walk-in. So when you guys are logging an appointment, what do you guys click through? 20, 40, 60, right? We're going to log all the way up through what we did. So we got an appointment, so we're going to log all the way from 20 40, 60. When you guys are logging, let's make sure if you are training or you are a trainee and we're logging the trainer training in the car, make sure that we are clicking the correct percentages. So you see there's two options, right, for each percentage. There's 220%, 240, 260, so on and so forth. So one is just regular 20% gatekeeper, one is 20% trainer assistant, right? And it's the same for every single percentage on the way down. So we want to make sure that regular percentage, so just the 20% and just the name of whatever step you're on, gatekeeper, DM, whatever it is the trainer. So if you are the trainer, if the trainer did that step of the walk-in, it's regular percentage. Say regular, it's like the original before we added trainer assistant. If it is your trainee that talked or did a portion of the walk-in, it is trainer assistant.
Okay, we've been doing that completely backwards.
Yeah.
All of our stuff's gonna be backwards then.
I was gonna say that.
We said trainer assisted, that means the trainer assisted.
Oh, sorry, did I just say that?
No, you said it right.
Yeah.
Like we're logging
So the way
everything
we
backwards.
see it is that the trainer assisted the new agent into seeing this
Right.
activity. So
Okay, so
So-
Courtney is with me, and Courtney, you're the trainer, and I'm a
Yep.
new agent.
and
And I
you
talked to the gatekeeper,
did trainer assistant.
but Courtney, I talked to the gatekeeper.
No, the new agent talks to the gatekeeper.
The
It's
new
regular
agent,
percentage.
regular percentage. And then Courtney talked to the
The
decision
DM.
maker. She did the 30-second commercial. So then that would be trainer assistant.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I said, right?
You said the
No.
opposite. You said the opposite.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's okay. We just all panicked. We were like,
Oh
oh my god.
That's what I said, right? Okay, sorry. Cool. But yes, so you're correct.
Okay, cool.
My bad. So,
When it says trainer, that means the trainer did it.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
the trainer, the
The
trainer
trainer-
assisted
Yeah,
this
The regular
agent into
percentage
yes.
is the trainee duty. Yes, mix that up. Okay, sorry guys.
Okay.
Thank you. The regular percentage is the trainee. Trainer assisted is if the trainer did it. That makes sense? Yes.
Cool.
So you can't click both percentages. It has to be one or the other. Some people kind of try to like decide when they get back in the car. I go by who said the script. That's the
Correct.
easiest way to decide what percentage is what. So gatekeeper, who went in and asked, would you let blank know that Courtney's here? Who said that? That's who gets the percentage. DM script or DM, 40%. Who said the actual 30-second commercial? So just go by scripting who said what. But yes, I apologize. Regular percentage is the new agent. Okay, I just pictured like the new agent's name in there. Trainer assistant is whoever the trainer is in the car. Just picture your name right there, and then click through on who did what. Got it? Let me confuse you guys now.
No, we're good.
Oh, you have it up.
I'm with
Okay,
you. Yeah. I'm
Yes,
with you every
cool.
step of the way.
thank you.
Yeah.
So then after that, you guys are just gonna save, right? Don't save it right now because we're not gonna actually log it. We don't
But
want.
she will.
I'm going to, so you
Yeah,
can see what
she
it looks
can-
like, but you're not going to because that will skew your data.
Yes,
they
we
look
don't-
at
we
an
don't want,
appointment, they're gonna be like,
20
Diana did
points.
not book my
And you guys, I do want to clarify because I know as a company, we've kind of discussed both ways of logging. We've heard that it's confused, the field force. So the new change that we've done, and some of you guys are already doing it this way, but just make sure that you're clicking everything up to that point. So if you're presenting, some of you may not click on the appointment. Go ahead and click on the appointment. Okay. So some of you might do 2060. Go ahead and do the 2040-60. Okay, because it's not going to skew the data. The way we fix that is it's only going to count as an appointment if you have the date and time. So that's why that's so important when you set an appointment that you actually have the date and time. And that's what will trigger and feed Epic that this was an appointment log. Does that make sense? And hopefully that makes it better for you guys in the field. You don't have to think.
If you learn it differently, if it's a presentation on the spot.
Yeah, but it'd still be 20,
You're
40,
just not
60.
gonna put a date and time.
Mhm.
But you didn't set. So just log all the way through what you've done. The difference is when you do set an appointment, you'll just put the date and time in there, and then that's what, by
Which would be
clicking the
future date.
60% plus putting the day and time, that's what counts on your dashboard that will show up. And then go into your Epic that you actually want.
So hopefully that'll make things easier.
So on spot presentation, if going along there through now, what happens if you're getting trained by the actual, like the essay, does the presentation? So would it be 60% trainer assisted, then 80% presentation trainers just as well, or
Yeah,
does it matter?
yeah, it's not gonna log as an appointment regardless because you didn't put a date and time. But yes.
But then just one thing to point with that, if you guys are doing, like you're setting appointments and you are getting the right level, but then you're not adding the date and time,
It will not count.
it's not gonna count it as an appointment.
Yes, you
It's not
gotta do
showing
that.
as appointments.
So just because you sent your screenshot to Deanne, like we have multiple this week across teams, that people took a screenshot to send their appointments points in, but they did not log it correctly in Epic, so it does not match. It has to match the Epic. It has to have the date and the time for it to count as an appointment.
So if it didn't happen in Epic, it didn't happen at all.
Alright. So that is logging an appointment. Does that make sense? Okay.
Any questions on that? Are we good?
So now we've gone in, we've set the appointment. Now the day comes where we're going back and we're building our routes, right? So I'm gonna walk through building a route. You guys can follow along if you want on your
Hold on,
laptops.
there's talk back there, so is that a question or, because I need everybody's
You guys-
attention,
Do you guys have a question?
No.
or something you guys talking through, because if you guys have any concerns, I'm sure,
She does get too long, right? But she did.
If you guys want to follow along on your laptops, that would be helpful too. Because now what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk through some of the layers that we should be going through when we are building a route. That way we are intentionally prospecting and we are getting back into all of these leads that we are classifying out in the field. And then the focus is appointments, but I'm gonna go through all of them. But we're gonna show you how to add it into your route, and then we'll show you after that how to log from an appointment as well.
I want everybody to take out a sheet of paper or whatever you take notes at, because we're gonna walk you step by step. You do this, and you click on this, and then you go here, and then you click on this, and then you draw a shape. So it's multiple steps, and you just hearing it and seeing it once, it will not stick. And I don't like wasting our time.
Do you have a certain town?
So let's make sure you guys can retain
The
it
appointment, you know where the
and be able
appointments
to
are?
review it.
Or is there or just whatever pops up, I guess, as long as there. I just want to make sure there's something there. Okay.
That's what it is.
Ready.
What did you say?
Lebanon.
Lebanon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like from the Bible.
Okay.
Lebanon.
Are you guys all set up, ready?
No, we're missing anybody.
Okay, everybody should be looking at a map view on your Epic. Should match
Do
what's
you
up
want
here.
them looking on theirs, or would you rather have them write down the steps? and look
Yeah,
at
I would actually probably, now that I'm thinking
Yeah.
about it, because you guys aren't going to be able to, I don't know who has appointments. And who doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is what we're looking at, map view. Take some notes.
Yeah.
Who has appointments scheduled for this week? Raise hand.
What?
Who has
Appointments.
appointments scheduled for this week?
Logged correctly that are gonna pop up on your map.
Alright.
They're not logged. It's like
So
a map.
it's about to
we'll
be
walk
called
you
out.
through that, but I want you guys to first pay attention up here and see the steps. I want you guys to write down the steps, and then after we do that, then we'll look at your own stuff and we'll walk around and help anybody that needs help.
Yes.
So right now we're writing down the steps on how to add layers to our routes. This will be your best friend. It will save you a lot of time and make sure that you don't miss anything.
Okay. So first thing we're gonna do, obviously, let's say I set an appointment last week. For this coming week, I'm going in to build my routes. I have to look at my 10 blocks. I look at my calendar. I know that I have an appointment this week on whatever day. So I know that my appointment is in Lebanon, Missouri. Lebanon, Illinois?
Yeah.
Okay, Lebanon, Illinois is where my appointment is at, all right? So first thing I'm gonna do is I wanna go to that area on my map, right? So we're gonna go search Lebanon, Illinois. I'm gonna go so my map hovers over that town. Yeah, I might zoom out, yeah. And you guys can, I do a lot of this, you guys, from map view, which I'll talk to you about in a second. But you can zoom in and out just to see what is on this map. Yeah, you can do it everywhere as well. Okay.
Do you guys know what the different ones up will do for you? Are you guys familiar with that? The shape?
The shape
Okay.
map view everywhere.
So everywhere is everything. So for example, if I did everywhere, I have stuff in North Carolina, Texas. So it will zoom all the way out to where I can see every lead I have. Okay. You do not want to use that one because it can overwhelm the system. All right, especially the longer you're here. Map view is going to be anything that's on the map, including behind this white box.
Yes.
All right, so that's why you want to start there. It eliminates, right? If you know you're going to be working in one area, the map view is good. And then the shape view, which is going to be your best friend after you add the layers, will just pull leads in the shape that you, but it will not work unless if you have the right tab selected up top.
Yes.
That's new to that, right?
Yeah, that we were
Okay.
so lost in that.
Okay, good, good,
Yeah, so
good.
you gotta pay attention.
Score, we're done.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, that was all.
No, that's gonna make a world of difference. And then if we need to elaborate, if I need to show you, I'll be more than happy to do so.
Where do you suggest we start out with work?
Map view.
Map view.
You wanna go to the town, yep, so I know
If you
my,
were starting with a city,
yes,
if you're just gonna be like, I don't really know where I'm gonna go today because I forgot I have an appointment, then you're gonna have to do everywhere because you don't know where you're going, right?
But going forward,
You should
as
know
of
in your
this training,
yeah,
we
you
will
should
be
know
more.
where you're
Yeah.
headed each day, yes.
Yeah, you had a
So-
question, babe.
Are you saying that from this screen right here, you pull leads from?
Yes.
Okay,
This
so
is
the
building a route.
way I
To
do
build
it-
a route, not to pull leads.
She just said, yeah,
Well,
Not-
yeah, I mean,
not
you pull
to
leads
build
from
a
here
route.
to build a route. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
these are leads that you've already downloaded.
Is that what you're talking about?
I was gonna say, like, I do that, I do a math-based search.
Oh, so do I.
In sales.
Yeah,
leads,
but that's
what
when
we're
you're
not talking
pulling
about.
leads.
Yeah.
So these are leads that you've already downloaded, you pulled, whether you need a
Like,
call
for
impact
the-
call.
for the route.
Yeah, this is for the
Yeah,
route.
so this is once we've already done all that stuff, and now I'm going to build my routes for the week.
Yeah.
I've got all my hot calls
We're
done,
good.
I've got, yes, okay.
I
So,
did give an eyebrow raise, I was like, what?
yes.
No, 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 you're good, you're good.
The words are similar. So I know that I have an appointment coming up in Lebanon. So I'm gonna go to Lebanon, I'm in map view. Now what you guys wanna do, all the layers that we talk about, so we talk a lot about like the classification of leads, right? It's in your worksite training guide, all the definitions, if you guys need to reference them. You should be, we talk about them in the car as well. You have a layer over off to this left-hand side under worksite. There is a layer for each one of those classifications.
All right, time out.
No,
Oh,
we're
no,
just
I
waiting for
won't-
everybody to
I
stop
won't.
talking so that they can hear. That's all. Because there's different questions.
You guys have it pulled up?
Yeah, so it's more.
Cool. Are we on this point right here? Okay. Map view, now I want to go through all of my layers. I want to briefly talk about just kind of the order of the layers too, though, so you guys have an understanding of it. I know we're focusing on appointments right now. But when I am building my route, you want to go through the layers from your big rocks to your small rocks.
What page is this on our
So,
guide?
28. In your worksite training guide is, you want me to go over the classifications?
Sure.
Okay.
Where they can find it too if they forget which one.
Yeah. So 28, you guys, that top part of the page is the different classifications that you guys can classify your leads under. There's a way to log them. Maybe after this, if you guys have questions, get with one of us and I will explain to you how to log them. But we can be classifying a lot of our leads under these things, right? So you'll see the follow-up, hot leads, warm leads, scheduled follow-up, appointment. There's one right here that matches all of those definitions. So when I go in and I'm on my phone and I'm logging a walk-in and I log one of these classifications, so for this example, we just logged an appointment, right, which is one of the classifications. I want to go here and I want to click through all my layers first. I don't know if you want to start with enrollments. Do you want to
Are
start?
you gonna
with
have any
enrollments?
pop up?
So we tell people when you build your routes to start with your big rocks and go to move towards your small rocks. And what I mean by that, you guys are not always going to have these, okay? But the closest you are to that money making activity, all the way down to just your brand new qualified lead that you haven't walked into yet, right? So the first one is going to be enrollments, right? That's obviously you've already done all the work. Enrollments is that big rock, right? So I want to pull enrollments up first. So I have an enrollment that day. I want to add it to my routes. Again, not all of you guys are going to have this, but if you do, and it pops up on here, and I have an enrollment, oh, I guess that's St. Louis.
Yeah, I know.
But
It's large every day.
oh, there's Lebanon.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's say, and I don't know how far away that is, but let's say you do have an enrollment pop up in that area, right? You're gonna click on it. Do we want to go over the?
Yeah, you can do
Okay.
it.
We're gonna click on it and we're gonna go ahead and make sure obviously everything's correct. It's an enrollment. It's on that day. We want to make sure all the dates match and everything. But we're gonna go ahead and add to route. And that's how I'm gonna start my route because that's my number one priority that day, right? Is that enrollment. And then we've got that added. You'll see the one ad down there on that green arrow. That's how you know that it got added to your route. So just double check that that actually adds on there. So that's enrollments, right? Then what's after that?
Appointments.
Appointments, right? Because those are our next priority.
Okay. What's going on back there? Are we following up with this? Because she's walking through everything right now.
Just, it's hard here, so I'm telling him what I'm saying.
Okay, so you want to come
I can talk
maybe
louder.
over here? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's just because
No,
it's a
you're fine.
distraction. Like I'm very like I hear you louder than her, believe it or not. So it's like, what's going on?
Okay, so the next layer, as we're moving down from our big rocks, is appointments. That's our next priority of the day, right? So I'm going to load up my appointments,
And this is the one we just logged just a second ago, so.
and it's kind of hard to see from
Okay,
here,
let me-
so it'll be,
Zoom in a little bit more.
yeah, just so they can see it. It'll be that green dot right there, and then it actually gives the abbreviation of the day, so you can double check that that's the day, whatever route you're building for. So I think, does that say
Monday.
What
I
is it?
just did it for today, Monday.
Oh,
MO.
Monday. Okay, so it's one inch long. Yes. So Monday, it shows Monday and it shows appointment. So I can hover over it. I can look at all the information, make sure that it's the right appointment that I'm adding to my route for the day, and then you simply just add to route. So that's going to be the next step. Now I have 2 stops on my route. Does this makes sense, the order we're going in? Starting with the highest priority of the day, and then we're moving on down. So we've got our enrollment in there. We've got our appointment for the day in there. Then what's after that?
Schedule follow-ups.
Scheduled follow-ups. They do know their stuff.
They do.
Jordan told me that. I was like, oh,
I know.
She's like,
Makes
they
me
know
so
their stuff.
happy.
So there, if you see on there, there's a layer for it says worksite scheduled follow-ups, right? So now we're gonna click on that layer, and we're gonna look for some scheduled follow-ups. Is there any in that area?
I don't think so.
I don't think anything popped up.
Yeah, which is fine.
So which
But
is
you
fine.
guys have them.
Yes, you guys should have scheduled follow-ups. Obviously, we all know what order we're going in. So once those pop up, it's going to be the same thing. Your little pins are going to pop up over your map. You hover over them, make sure everything's correct, read your notes, make sure that it's the right thing on the right day. That's super important too, is that you're double checking we're putting the right things in the right places. But then you'll be able to see them on the map. Same thing. You click on it, add to route.
I love this one too.
Got some hot and warms. I don't have any scheduled, but I have hot and warms.
Okay, so then what's after the schedule? Hot and warm leads, right?
What's the difference between a hot and a warm? Anybody?
Hot is a direct follow-up after being there, and then warm is
They should be here at this time.
Odd is when you know the time and day that they're gonna be there.
Scheduled is when you know the time of the day. Hot is within 2 weeks.
warm is a specific.
There you go.
It's warm.
Yeah, so specific month, if you have a business that told you a specific month they want you to come back and follow up, that will be a warm follow-up. Hot is one that you want to get back into within the next 2 weeks. So that's a huge thing too, is it's a high priority one you want to get back into. You may or may not have met the DM in this one, but you were given a specific information that there was interest. So it's one of those ones that you're like, I've got to get back in here. You haven't been able to convert anything yet, but it's definitely a hot follow-up.
That is your tool, right?
Yes.
You feel good about it. You had a good connection with that gatekeeper
Yes.
or with somebody there. You want to make sure that they're a top priority. Why is this important? We walk into so many businesses a week that we will forget, right? So, and the one that I love, you guys are about to start hearing it. We're getting in that time of the year where everybody's like, oh, we do the benefits at the end of the year. It becomes a little bit harder to overcome. You can overcome them, right? But okay, hey, definitely not a problem. When is it that you guys start looking for looking at benefits? Usually, if they're benefits, they do it in December. They start looking at September, October to make those decisions, finalize them before the open enrollment, which is typically November, December, right? So when they're like, oh, well, we actually do the benefits at the end of the year. Okay, well, my next question always is, okay, so when did you guys start looking at it? Because I know right now you're not even going to pay attention. So when you start we start looking at September. Okay, great. I'll be back in September, first, second, third, or fourth week. Which one works better for you? Oh, the third week in September. Okay, great. And then you do a hot follow-up and you put September. You see the August there, you see the June there, you see the March. And then now you don't forget about it, but you guys, you have to work them. Because the moment you put them in this bucket, a lead can't be in two buckets at once, right? So once you put them in the September bucket, they're no longer your qualified leads. Because Epic says, oh, you already have plans for this one to come back in September. Why are we going to keep showing it to you? Okay. Okay, can you go to the layer real quick? You go here. You guys, and then scroll. So this here is important. Do you see how every month is here? Okay, so if you don't want to populate all of them, then you can either hide all and select the ones you want, or you can remove them here. There's multiple ways of doing it. Every month at the beginning of the month, I would pull the month prior, the month that I'm in, and then the next month. Because if I missed any, I'm gonna get to them now. I need to know which ones they told me to come back now. And then I also want to see, hey, any of these, can I go in now and maybe just warm it up a little bit, gear up, maybe do a cookie drop. So I would always do 3, before, present, and future, to really maximize these. But that way you don't have everything on there. Okay, because the longer you do this, the more are gonna pop up and it can be overwhelming.
So now we've done hot and warm follow-ups, right? And then well, let me stop there actually. So that's the rest of your classifications before we get to just your regular follow-up leads, new qualified leads, all of that. Okay, so we worked through those. Now we have our area, we have all of our pins that are popped up right here of what we have going on that day. So I don't know how far away those are from each other.
Yeah, let's go to our appointment. Where is that at? Down there.
Okay. So, and this is something that you guys want to pay attention to when we are doing this next part, because we want to make sure that we are not including a bunch of leads that are 20 miles apart here, 10 miles apart here. That's not the best optimization. Hopefully you don't have scheduled things that are that spread out for the same day. So when you do this, you want to make sure, now we're going to draw our shape. Because what I want to do is I want to draw a shape around all of my scheduled activity that I have in there. And then I want to fill in with leads that are around that scheduled activity. Because that's the way that you're going to best optimize your time, right? I don't want to go to my appointment and my enrollment here and then drive to leads that are 45 minutes away, come back for an appointment, drive back 45 minutes, just not the best use of your time. So, go ahead. So she went over here. Did you see what she did off to the right-hand side? You have different tools to be able to draw shapes. So this allows you guys to draw a shape around your scheduled activity. Again, pay attention to how far apart or how big of an outline you are creating. We don't want to make a gigantic outline. Again, it's going to take us all over town back and forth, just not optimizing our time.
Okay.
Are there
Yeah.
So you guys, this one's my favorite one. Because like for example, I'm from the Dallas area. Okay, Dallas is a huge circle and we have a lot of towns around, right? So I would work Garland. I spent 4 years in the field and I did not leave Garland for the most part. And I still didn't tap all of Garland. Right. But with this tool, let's say you just want to work this little square right here. You can click, 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 and then it'll connect. You also have a square though, and you also have a radius. So wherever you put it down and then you just want to zoom out, you can do that. But to me, this is the best tool because it controls where you're going. Okay, and the way you connect it, you just do your clicks, and then the one that you want to connect on, you just double click on it, and then it'll close it.
That makes sense. How to draw the shape around
But this, so now that she drew the shape, she has to go to shape
Yes.
because now this is where the good stuff happens.
Because that's the viewpoint that you're looking at again. So we've switched over from map view to now shape view because we drew a shape on the screen. And now I want to fill in with my qualified leads.
Any questions up to this point? You guys are gonna love us after this if you guys aren't utilizing this right now because this saves you so much time.
And boom, look at all of my qualified leads I have in there. You have your new leads, you have your follow-up leads. But there is everything in that radius that you want to work in that is around your scheduled activity. So how many leads is that? Is that enough for everyone?
34.
Boom.
Boom.
So we have enough leads, right? Now I tell people, like, if you want to click through, like, hover over them too. If you want to just kind of double check, I wouldn't just click and add everything to route. Double check that these are leads that you can go into. You know, there might be a lead in there that says, you know, DM's on vacation, gets back October 1st or something like that. Maybe you don't want to go into that one this week. You can scroll down too. So what she did was she just scrolled down from the map, and you can read all of your notes. You can see all the leads, the business names, make sure that there's not any duplicates in there. That's gonna be.
So remember, I'm pulling my whole AD team, right? So
Yes.
I may have 2 people in
Yes.
the same.
She has everyone's on.
Yeah. So.
But make sure that, yeah, make sure when you guys are building your route, there's no duplicates or anything in there like that. But this is where we just kind of sort through them, right? If we don't want them anymore, we can hit that red X off to the left. If I decide, oh, that's not one that I want on my route for Tuesday, X it out, and then it gets rid of it on the map up there.
And you guys, you see the 2 colors? Okay. The pink, we've already been in there, right? It's a qualified, we've already done a walk-in. The blue is qualified, right? With Pat called it, we've done our research, but we haven't been in there yet. So this is where you get your mix between new and follow-ups.
What kind of split do you guys want on your route? 60
40.
60 what?
60% new, 40%.
60% new, 40% follow-up. Yep.
And so that here you can
They're
look at,
acing
you
the
can read your
splits
notes.
today.
And one of the tips that I shared with you guys that I love seeing here is that this is why I always suggest for you guys to put your notes under research. Your last walk-in, go ahead and put the date, and then the last thing you did, because you will see it here. So this allows you to give you all the information you need without actually having to go into the lead and hit every journal entry. You know, still do it in description so that it does create that journal entry for you. But under research, I mean, I have leads that my thing is like this long because I was in there 10, 20 times, you know, but the most recent, always put that one on the top.
Another point for that is when you convert it from a lead to a case, and you closed it, you have to go multiple steps to find all that activity journal if you haven't copied it to the research box. So keep it all in there because it's very valuable information.
And you do it the next one, so every time you do it again, you go in 10 times and you go to the next 11th time and you just put it at the top.
Yep.
So it's in.
So I scroll down a
Backwards
little
order.
bit, then I put the date and I put my notes.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then so now it's dated every time that you've been in there and what happened during that
So like
last.
this, see this person did that, they added their date and then they put their notes in. It's just only once, but yeah, that's exactly how you would do it.
Sorry.
So those are little tips that help you as an agent maximize your time when you're building a route.
So then, if we're doing that, right?
Mhm.
Then, what's the benefit? I mean, I know the benefit of doing the journal, right? But if you're gonna just then copy paste it to your research, why not just put it for research?
I will let corporate answer that one
Yeah.
because
Well,
Bourbon's
well,
answer is different.
Okay, well, maybe then you want to.
Yeah.
But, well, so the first one that you log is the worksite walking,
Right.
right? So that's actually logging your actual activity, so it transfers over to the dashboard. And then switching, what I do, and so maybe you can, what we teach people is I just copy my
Yeah.
note that I
Select
put.
all.
So when I go to
Select all.
log my walk-in, you know, there's that description or notes
Yeah.
space. Before I save that walk-in, I'm gonna copy what I put as my notes. Make sure that you're adding the date, obviously, like Bourbon said. And then I'm going back, after I save my walk-in, I'm going into edit right there, and then your research box will pop up right down there. And I paste it in there. And so you log your actual activity, because you want your activity to count, right? But then I also want to make it easier on myself for when I'm going to go build routes again or look at leads. I want to paste my information in the research box because the research box is what's going to pop up first on all of your leads when you're looking at stuff on here and even on your phone.
And how many of you guys work in BFE
Yeah.
that that no
is a little
service,
spotty.
right? So in order to get to your journal entry and you got to know what you went in, what do you have to use? This, right, you need service. So the good thing is this will be on your route and you'll be able to
Right
read
there.
it off of your route, whether you have service or not, as long as your route is there.
Yeah.
So just little things that help the frustration when you're out in the field and you don't have internet service.
Just making it easier on you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Easier to, yep.
And when you're training, right, we know that you should be doing windshield training It should be live. Hey, we're going into this next walk-in. Read the notes. What was my last interaction in there? All right, let's role play. So now you're not just role playing to role play. We're actually role playing this walk-in that we're about to do.
Yes.
And I think Danielle, a couple of people that've been in the car with me, you've had that aha moment that exactly what we role played in the car is exactly what happens in there. We just chuckle because we're like, haha, see, you know, but it helps so much that agent gain that confidence. So all that's important for that.
What I was gonna add is then on the SA or GA level, that you can see when you're doing a route inspection, how
Yep.
many
Yes.
times your agent's been in there, how
Yep.
much they have about it. It's just beneficial all the way around that we to people around.
Yeah, we should be doing route inspections, right? We talk about that all the time. And like, just because you have a lead on here doesn't mean that anything's good. You know, like, okay, that's an enrollment, but like here, I've got questions. We haven't been in there yet. What about this one? We were in this one. So the notes from their last visit. So when you pull it up, you want to be able to see all of that at a quick glance.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So when you're talking about putting your most recent up there, you're gonna put it above your questions, so you see that with your questions. So if you're in a PFD area, you're gonna be able to see that
Yes.
rather than having it like below it where
Right.
you have to have
So-
it.
Very good question. All right, when you pat call, my rule is every 6 months you need a repat call. Okay, so things that go under or that goes before your notes, the date that you pat called, who you spoke with. Okay, so that should be the first thing. How many of you guys are using what are their bad days? That hurts my heart. We'll get you guys there. But those of you that are using it, then the next thing besides the date that you pat called is BTTR, best time to reach. And then through your bad day scenario, you found out that Tuesday afternoons or Tuesday and Thursday afternoons are the best time to reach to go in there. Those are things we'll always say up top. Then your questions of your research and then your walk-ins, right? Now, if you have that up here and you're looking down here and you're building your route for Wednesday and it says best time to reach is Tuesday and Thursday, you're automatically going to eliminate. Why even read anymore? Why spend any more time on that lead? You already know that, you know, Wednesday's not a good day for that lead. So these are all tools that's going to help you become a lot more efficient on Mondays.
Can you repeat that real quick? You said
Absolutely.
date packed, best time to reach.
And then if you have questions from your research.
Okay.
So those are things that no matter how many times you're in, they're going to stay the same.
Right, and they stay up top, and then you put.
And then space, and then your notes.
Okay, so that's how you sift through everything. We want to make sure that everything on this list, everything in the shape, are things that I want to go to on my route. Then when we've got all that and we have enough, that's the other important thing. You want to make sure you have enough leads for a full day. Yeah, I was going to say.
There's 2 ways to save it. So we want to show you both ways. Yes, ma'am.
Can I add something that occurs to me as you're doing this? You're making, like, you're getting ready on Friday to Monday, and you're going ahead, like, I'm gonna go ahead and do a jump on today, my routes on everything I know that's coming next week. You can get to this point, and would I be wrong to say you would then also pull your current sales you leads, anything you could already pack, or would leave it pack, would show up in that, so you
Shape
would
view.
know.
The shape view.
We're going to call for it. Yes.
You could call leads because they're what they're gonna do.
Yep, absolutely. So once you've done all this, I love using this to get everything, and then I love using the list view so I can read through my notes, know which ones I want to go into. If I want them there, great. If I don't, then I'm gonna hit the X. You guys, if you hit the X, you don't delete the lead from your system. That's the number 1 question I get. All you're doing is removing it from the map player.
And it does
Okay.
say that if you like look at it.
Yes, don't be
Number
scared. Like
one.
if I delete this, am I permanently? No, it's just for that map layer. So then after you do that, you have 2 ways to add this to your route. Okay, is it right click?
Yeah.
In the box. It has to be,
You can click anywhere in the box. Just
Yep.
make sure that you don't click on a lead. Click somewhere in the blank space.
right?
Just no
Okay.
left.
Okay, so left click, because you right click, you're gonna get that one. Left click, you're gonna get this one. All right, when you left click, it's gonna show you have 33 leads in here. It even breaks everything down, but under actions, add all to route. And then once you do that, it will add everything that's in that shape that you haven't eliminated and add it to your route for you. Okay, the second place you can do that, and remember, it has to be that one. If you go ahead and right click for me. If you right click, you see that option here, don't do that one. Okay, just make sure it has a little gray,
Gives you a
gibberish up
summary
top.
of everything that's
Okay.
on there.
and then you can also scroll down at the bottom. This is the one that we were working at, right? You can go to actions, select all, and then you can come here and then add all to route. So there's two ways where you can add all these to your route. And then after you added all these to your route, what do?
Save your route.
Save it, you're right.
The most important.
I strongly suggest that you save your route after every layer.
Yep.
All right, so when you add your enrollments and you add your appointments, save.
We forgot something.
What did we forget?
Are you starting at your enrollment or do you drive home?
Well, there you go. Yeah, you're starting in end time. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you wanna make sure start and end points.
Yeah. I mean, not time points, yeah. So, and you guys know the reason why that's important, right? Is because the route will optimize so that you're like in a circle,
Are you
right?
guys all start adding your start location and end location? Normally it's your house.
Or meeting spot, yeah.
Yeah, you can cater it to wherever you're meeting somebody.
All right, you guys, anything else? I mean, that's pretty much covers.
We're gonna show them how to do the task.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, so any questions before we move forward to the next one? Because this one is the game changer. This is the one that we really need you guys to utilize.
Actually, I wasn't sure if you said clear.
I'm expecting to get my right about that, so you have sales meeting leads that you downloaded, that you haven't packed yet.
Yeah,
There's a layer that you can pull it up.
yeah, it's right here.
It'll say,
Go to the layers, yeah.
And it was only while.
All
see where it says
so-
sales.
So Sales Genie leads are leads that you just recently downloaded and you had not pack called yet. They're still unqualified. The moment they're still gonna show up as new. That's how we know if you have new leads on your route, because they say new, not qualified or whatever. And then once you work it, whether it's qualified, unqualified, whatever, then those move to your qualified leads. Okay, so moral of the story is, which is why we didn't say it, unless if you're pat called, when you're building a route, you should never be hitting Sales Genie, because it should only be qualified leads that's going into your route. But it's a great tool to utilize when you need to call brand new and you know you're in this area. You can do your shade and then do Sales Genie to know, okay, these are my new ones that I need a pat call so that I'm being productive. I'm not pat calling just a pat call. I'm pat calling for this specific day.
Is there a list, like, of which you just
Yes.
call off?
No, yeah, each layer, when you go down here, you're gonna have the list. Yeah.
There's a different list per,
So
layer.
So like, look, for example, here, if this was me, right? I know that I'm here and I need to be here. I have an enrollment in one spot and I have a presentation appointment in another. So I have to go to both. So if you're smart and you want to maximize, what am I doing? I'm gonna call all of these in between. Because now I'm working towards, I'm not just driving straight through, right? I'm stopping and really maximizing my trip. So even though I see this cluster here and it looks really pretty, right, let's maximize my time. Now, if I was only here, sure. If I was only here, sure. But on this one, what I would do is I would hover over these and then I would do my pat calling off the map. Okay, and then once you pat call it, then you can exit out, or I'm sorry, not exit out, come back over here. Click on one. So once I pat call it and all that, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove from map. So now I know that one's pat called, that one's gone. And then I'm gonna pick, if I need 5 for the day, I'm gonna pick my 5. Once I'm done picking my 5, then I'm gonna come down here. I'm gonna X out this layer. I'm gonna remove the data set. I don't know if you guys noticed I'm OCD, so like all these dots bother me. And then, now what happened is, those 5 new leads that I just qualified, now I can go into my qualified leads, and now they'll all be there. Right, and then those will be the blue ones, I think. I can never remember which one.
Yeah.
So the blue ones, okay, oh yep, these are the 5 that I just called, and add those to the route. Did this make your Mondays and Fridays a lot easier?
Yes.
Okay, I know this was a lot of information, you guys. So on Friday or next Monday, or not next Monday, nobody's here next Monday. But whenever you're doing your call clinic, if you have a question, I'm a text away. I'm a phone call away. Okay. Go to your leadership if they're busy or you feel like, man, I've already bothered Diana 20 times today. I don't want to go back in there. Pick up the phone and call Bourbon and I will walk you through it. Okay. I know it's a lot of information. We're throwing it at you. But if utilized correctly, it's going to save you a lot of time on that. Yes, sir.
When you say about adding the new ones to the route,
Mhm.
is that gonna take in, like, reschedule everything for you because it's gonna be still be in like datamized mode?
Yeah, it'll do that for you. It'll shift it. So that's why utilizing your 10 blocks, and I'm going on a slight tangent, but it all makes sense. Utilizing your 10 blocks is very important on Friday, right? Because now your 10 blocks, you know where you're at, what appointments you have, what scheduled follow-ups, what enrollments, and then what you should really utilize the 10 blocks for is, okay, your goal is 25 a day. And you have 5 walk-ins that are already predestined, whether it's presentation, scheduled follow-up, whatever. So that means you have 20 that you need to figure out, right? So out of that 20, how many are you gonna do that's gonna be follow-ups?
8.
Okay, so then you have 8. So that leaves you how many that you need a pack call for that day? 12, right? So on your 10 blocks, then you're gonna put 12 on a little corner and circle it. Right, so now you know, hey, all I need to do is pack call 12 leads for Tuesday. And then you pull this up, you go to your sales genie, you pick the 12 in the area that you're gonna be at, and then bam. And that's how you strategically start creating your routes. Does that make sense? Did I lose anybody there?
Yeah.
Okay, at what part?
Like, so why are you gonna put the 12 extra in there during the day? Is it just because I'm trying to save drive time and make
So-
back calls?
You should never drive to a place that's not on a route.
Right.
Right? So those 12 that I was talking about are brand new leads because you need to have that balance of new to follow up.
Right.
Right? So you already have 5 that are places that you already know you're going, and then you have 20 left. So you know 8 needs to be stuff that you already called. So go ahead and pick your 8, right? Or I would start off with the pack calls, the ones that you need a pack call. Right? So then you pull up all your sales genie and then you pick the 12 that you need to, whether it's in a cluster or whether it's the drive line, whatever it is, you're gonna pack call
So you're
those.
making your 60-40 split.
Correct.
Okay.
And then once you've pack called those 12 that you need, now you can clear out your data set, do your shade, and then do all qualified leads. And then you'll see the 12 that you pack called, you see the 8 then you gotta pick 8 that you wanna go back into. And then that's how you have a strategic.
So you're gonna use the ones that are repacked, right? Because if you're gonna
Yes.
use brand new leads, doesn't that mean if they aren't already
Brand new means blue.
right?
You haven't
I was
been in
like,
there.
I'm talking about the ones, the yellow ones.
We're not doing,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to
When
pack
you
the
pack-
yellows.
when
So when you
pack
pack them, they change from yellow to
To
blue.
blue.
Right, but
Yeah.
if you're using ones you don't have research on. or
That's just to build your route.
Okay.
So yes, and then after you have your route built, then that's when you do your research. Because here's the thing, you can research at any time. I don't know if you guys do or not, right? But if you can only call until like 5 o'clock, right? So the first thing first is getting all your pack calls done for your 4, routes. And then after you got that done, then you start doing the research because you can research at home, you can research in between, like whatever you need to do to maximize that. He's like, wow. I love that. I love hearing that. And I love that smile. I love
All
that
the
smile.
things that have been said, and
Yeah.
we're saying it again, just in a different tone of voice.
It's because you're crazy Titi's in town,
Yeah.
and when I say it, it makes sense. When you say it, it's mama bear. Right.
Yes.
All right. So the last piece, because this is very, very important, and it's not complicated at all. You just gotta. So this is another thing I want you guys to write down because it is step by step. Not many, but if you missed one, then we can't get the data that we need. You guys, and I'm here all week, well until Wednesday. So if you guys want a one-on-one or some kind of training, or I don't mind getting on the phone with you guys, do whatever you need. Okay.
So if you've used your layers, you guys, you shouldn't see a business name for a walk-in when it's an appointment, right?
Facts.
You should not see the business name. You should see the word
Appointment.
appointment. So when you're on your walk, your map, your route, words are not coming. You should not see business name of Wilhelm Construction. You should see appointment, and that's what we're gonna click. Okay. It does look slightly different at the computer, but you're still with me.
Right, this is after you're in your route.
In your route.
Ran the appointment, and now we're going to log in.
Can we plug in her phone, because it's gonna look different?
I don't know if I can do it because it's gonna.
If you join,
It's gonna Zoom. Yes. Okay, it'll be fine.
yeah, if you join Zoom on your phone, share your screen on your phone.
And the only reason why I want this is because I want you guys to see what it looks like, and it does look different from desktop versus your phone.
Sorry.
No, you're good. All right, so any questions up to this point? Any clarifications? What are your takeaways?
Shape view. No, shape view, that's good.
It's my best friend, you guys. It was my, even when I pull leads, I use Shape View.
Game changer.
Yeah.
We're missing the shape.
All right, awesome, awesome. Okay.
I was curious though, like, we always try to be ahead like the next week, right? So when we're pack calling, we always try to pack call for next week.
Perfect.
But there are some businesses that you have to pack call and no one's. I mean, I ran into it because I do the go downtown, right? And like I call her, right? She showed up, and then she I literally went in. She's like, "Did you call yesterday? Like talking about like wanting to update my records?" And I was like, "Yes, I did." In fact, like, is there a way that you can go around that without like having to be 1 week ahead of all? You know what I'm saying? Just like if
So what are you saying on your pack call that when you
so
walk
like if I'm
in,
pack calling on Monday and I'm gonna walk into that business on Tuesday,
which I think is perfect, fine, fine. What are you saying on your pack call? How did you know that it's you?
Yeah. Sometimes like the smaller areas, all right. So like I really have to.
Right, but when you walk in, you're how are they gonna put well, that's what I'm asking. Like,
Yeah. She was like, did you curious?
I mean, the little towns, you don't see how like you do in St. Mary or Houston, like these little towns, little companies going into the win, but they don't know are few and far between. And I can say because I live in a so come in like if you came to my town. And you went to 10 businesses, nine of them would remember.
Right,
And if you called and you even your voice, their gatekeeper or secretary, they're gonna be like, I heard her voice. It was a different voice that I've never heard before. Because they just they're tiny town.
All right, so we'll definitely get back to this. I wanna show you guys this, but once sometimes our voices on the phone sound different in person. There's that. If you are in areas where they recognize you, like, wait a couple days. I mean, I always went. And another thing is you can man up. You don't have any on the phone. Mark Johnson. Yeah. So there's different things that you can do to have it for you.
So with what you said, kind of the opposite of it. When you call, if you're using a phone, most of the time they'll pop up with your name. It's gonna say your name when you call them.
You can get it Google, guys. Get it Google. It's a app. Change number. You do that. You're that concerned about it.
Yep. So definitely get on your leadership on that. That is an issue.
This should be the right board.
Yeah.
This should not be happening.
Right.
But I definitely get it on your small towns. All right. So here we go.
So menu, map, pulling up the route, right? By example. Scroll all the way down to my appointment. So no business name. Says appointment. Okay.
All right. Does everybody see this?
Sorry, I got excited.
She's like.
Okay.
All right.
Record. And I'm gonna start editing.
All right, this is where a lot of us miss the boat. If you hold on. Add if you're at this point, I'm guilty of importing these. All right. Typically, what I would normally do is I would just have Bob's appointment. Right, and then the name when she clicked at how the brothers blue, then I would click on five brothers, and I would go.
Well, it's because my phone.
Yeah.
Can you mute?
My phone is muted.
Sorry. No. So what you don't want to do like that process tempting, and that's what we're doing. Presentation, saying that appointment, and then going up as a on spot, which you kind of put in a appointment for, because of this. So this is what we need to correct. Okay. So now you're gonna go to. I'll shut up. Sorry, Courtney.
Oh, you're fine. Hey, do your thing. Okay. So what we're gonna do, you guys is edit. And this is opening up the tab we've already created. The appointment that you've already created. Now we're opening up the task. Edit that. Thing. You can add details. How the appointment goes. Whatever you want to put in your whatever information. Yes, we did Joe.
Close it.
Close. Going Friday. Everything's perfect. Yep.
If you close it on Tuesday, when are we enrolling? You don't work that Let me give you some Wednesday. We close it on Tuesday in the morning. I love it.
But then when you guys go down, after that you have your percentages, right?
So it all looks familiar after this.
So we are going to even though you just is this an appointment, right? We've already done the walk-in. We still want to talk about earlier. We want to log all the way to where we got. So now this is an appointment. I want to log the presentation. I'm going to hit 20, 40, 60, 80. And that's when to log the presentation that I did. If it was just a presentation, you can stop at 80, close it, or log it all the way through 100. And same rules apply with trainer training. So if you had like a trainee that presented the presentation, when you went back, how are we going to log that? Regular. Yep. But then you did the 1.5, so 80. Yep.
Okay, does everybody understand it up to this point? Because there's still more. So we understand that, right? We hit edit. Do not press button. Just square, okay? Do not do it. All right. So here's the thing. We got in there and presented, and I need to talk to so and so to get the logistics. Did you close it? What are you walking away with? If you're not closing it, and you don't have that 5, and they need to talk to Joe Smo. Okay, just making sure it wasn't your question. All right. So now you're scheduling to come back to pick up that paperwork.
Is it an appointment? To go back and get section 125? No.
It is a follow-up. Okay. It's still a walk-in. Okay. So the way you do that under this wonderful future appointment follow-up task. And that's where you at it. Okay. So if you need to go back, work, follow up, whatever the case may be. You walked in, and the DM wasn't there, and you got him on the phone. Oh man, I'm so sorry about you. And I'm like, how dare you make a woman cry? Blah, do my stuff. You know what? Tomorrow. And I'm gonna schedule it. That will be an appointment. That makes sense. So you just keep editing this task. Now when you close it, when you actually close the business, then you go to complete.
What happened? Okay, last thing. Can't leave it on in progress, right? You have to complete the appointment.
Can you untap this so I can see the future, the additional, like the thing?
For show. Because it's not an appointment, right? It's a follow-up. And then they said come back on Thursday to get Joe to sign the roster or whatever it is. And then you do have to hit completed to say that you did that appointment.
That is
Then you
key.
would hit save. This doesn't log as a walk-in or count your data if you don't do all of those steps.
You have to hit the completed. Because what you're doing is you're not completing that future task. You're completing that current task, and then a new task will be created for you for that next appointment or that next follow-up. Okay? So
You've
that is how
already
you
completed-
properly close this task.
That explains why I have so many tasks.
Yes, yes,
The task got a lot better last year.
yes.
Yep.
And you guys, those are, you're gonna see those in your homepage on Epic, under the banner.
Lots of tasks.
If you have lots of tasks, I will go through them and see, make sure you're not missing anything. Okay, if you already went to that place, you say, oh man, I have an open task for this appointment, and you ran the appointment, go ahead and close it out. Yes, sir.
So when you do that, the completed, there's like the in progress, and then at the bottom there's a waiting on someone. What would be an example where you click waiting on someone?
I never used it,
I
so,
would never use it.
yeah.
Okay.
That's
Kind of like the virtual option also, like I just like.
So that's what it's
Yeah,
like on, when it gets canceled, I don't go in and complete it, not messes up my number.
There you go, yeah.
Yes.
And then what happens is, and I explained this to you guys when we were doing the scheduled follow-ups, right? It's a great tool to utilize, but if you don't do this step with your scheduled follow-ups, guess what? They go into epic limbo, and then you guys get mad at home office because we're eating up your leads. Right? Well, no, baby, go to your tasks, they're all in there.
So
Right.
do we still click on the box? We click on the box, we just don't click on the.
No.
We don't click on the box at all.
Nope, because when you click on the box, it's just automatically gonna, yeah, so and you don't want that, right? So what you need to do is always hit edit. That's why I said do not press the button.
She's talking about
I
this
know.
box right here
I
at the
know.
top. That's the box you don't press.
But you guys, just so you
Don't
guys
push
know,
that button.
any
That's the
changes
one we
that we
wanna
make
push
to
when you're not
Epic cost
supposed
the
to.
company millions.
Yeah.
So it's just easier to just train y'all not to press the button. If you press the button, you're square. Don't be square.
Don't be square.
Don't be square. All right. Any questions on this? You guys, I know we have another training, but I just got the okay to make sure that you guys understand this before we move forward. Because this will change everything for you guys. It will give us true data. So please, you have us here, utilize this time.
So you have to do that with every appointment.
Every
you have-
appointment,
you have
every
to
follow-up.
Mark it as completed.
That's completed.
So like, you go in for your appointment, do your presentation, you mark that as completed.
Even if you go in and the DM is not there, they stood you up. Because here's the thing, you completed the task of doing the walk-in and doing, like, you went intentionally for that presentation.
So you said if they call you and they say, or you call them or whatever, and they say, I'm gonna have to reschedule, then you complete the task
Yep.
and you
And then you just,
put reschedule
Yep.
or
You
follow
do the
up or
follow-up.
At the
whatever.
very bottom.
At
the bottom, very bottom.
So I
Okay.
set, I reschedule my appointment.
I'll add on that, so like,
Yeah.
if that happens to me, I'll go in there, I'll put the day, hey, got a call, they canceled, I'll check mark, whatever I need to check mark, and then,
y'all making me nervous with these calls. Why are they calling?
okay,
You
that was
said
for
they
example purposes.
Okay.
but-
I was just saying, cause you said they called, they said they can't be there and.
No,
you
no, I'm
said-
saying, we show up to the business,
Oh,
the
you-
DM is
oh,
not there. So we pick up the phone and call them, hey, DM, we had an
Okay.
appointment and you're not here today. I hope everything's okay. That's my guilt trip line. Okay, because if we're two business owners and I set time out of my busy schedule to come to present to you and you're not here, something must have happened. So that's my guilt trip line in a nice way. You know, hey Billy, I have an appointment, I'm here today, you know, I see that you're not here. Is everything okay? Oh, you know what, Bourbon, I just forgot about, how dare you, I am not forgettable. Like what, you know, okay, well, hey, it's such a relief, I'm so glad that everything's okay. Well, I'm actually gonna be back in the area tomorrow. Are you sure you're gonna make me a priority? Because, you know, I don't take rejection well. They laugh, they giggle, yeah, it works, no, it doesn't. And then I just reset that appointment. But I'm getting that line, is everything okay? Lets them know, bro, what happened? I said, something must have happened for you not to be here. You know, like. And then here's the thing, you guys. When something does happen, please be a person and be human. You know, oh, you know what, Reverend, I'm so sorry. My dog's stomach, you know, twisted on me. I had to take, true story. Had to take him to, right. Don't be like, okay, well, I'm going to be in the area tomorrow. Be like, oh my goodness, man, I'm so sorry. You know, is Rufus okay? You know, like, oh man, what's his favorite treat? Next time I come in, man, I'm going to make sure I spoil him a little. Be human. Things happen, right? A good DM, something really did happen, you know, or, you know what, I'm sorry, I'm just not available, you know, machine just blew up in the back, or, you know, we're short-staffed, I'm out on the floor. Man, that's awesome that you're such a hands-on DM. You know, no, man, I definitely understand that. I hope everything works out, you know, and then, but please be human before a business person, okay?
Okay, so team, what we're gonna do is, the SAs and GAs are going to be going into the conference room, and then a couple of agents that have been identified by your AD. Agents, you guys are going to be heading over to the bullpen, or not the bullpen area, because that's this, the pack area, so that you guys can work on those routes and getting yourself set up for those amazing routes this week so you can have that success. SAs, GAs, you're going to want your worksite training booklet that you already have in your hand, hopefully, and a notepad. And you're going to get to have some special time with Courtney and Bourbon. Great training, you guys. I will make sure that I get that recording up so that you guys can check and see that. If you have notes, I would love for you to email me the steps so I can compile it and send it out as well. Okay, email me the steps, email me the notes. That way I can send it out with my video. It's okay, I'll compile a good set.
Yeah. All right, you guys, take like a 10-minute. If you need to go potty, drink some water, stretch your legs, and then let's meet in the room.
So it's like come with a young child at the age of 10.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have notes. I don't know if they're still waiting. I appreciate that.